Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's TV Talk. We'll go over some of the most recent TV I've been watching. And for this video, I'll be looking at the new Netflix series Wednesday, which is based on the Addams family. It's a spin-off of the daughter Wednesday Addams. But just before I get into that, I uploaded a review for the new Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, so if you're interested, go give that a watch. And make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. Okay, so let's go over the plot for the new Netflix series Wednesday. So the overall plot is that Wednesday has been moved to this new school called Nevermore, and it's basically a school full of outcasts, werewolves. We've got tons of creatures, vampires, and all the sorts of mythical things you can think of. And the whole of the season basically revolves around Wednesday witnessing a murder by a creature and spending the whole season trying to find out who's involved, what this creature is, and it's also included all of the regular high school stuff like going to a full dance, she's meeting up with new friends, having tiffs with her friends, having battles with bullies, but also becoming friends with these bullies, thinking multiple different people are the murderer, and then throughout the series she slowly gets closer and closer to the answer, finds out who the actual killer is, and basically it's just a full-on mystery thriller with loads of little subplots, including like her family gets involved at one point, and then she makes other friends that get hurt. Some of them she thinks are the evil killers, but then they're not. So there's constant mystery and reveals. And it's a really cool series that is always on edge. And basically, it's doing multiple different stories at once, but it's always serving the overall plot. So it's a fun time. It never loses your attention. You're always focused on what's going on. So overall, I had a really fun time with the series. Jenna Ortega does an amazing job playing the dark but inquisitive Wednesday Addams. So throughout the whole season, she's very straight-laced, she's very sarcastic, you could say that. Very dark humour. Every time someone says something bad about her, she's basically takes it as a compliment, like, oh, you're really quiet and you don't like talking to people. And she's like, yeah, I love to do that, which I thought was great. She's very opposite character to everyone else, because everyone's basically the normal high school student, and she's the opposite of that. She basically wants to do the unnormal stuff. She wants to be alone. She wants to be in pain. She wants to scream in terror, and that's a good thing, which I thought was quite funny. And Jenna Ortega does a really good job of showing that. The supporting cast does an amazing job. Luis Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones are great as Gomez and Morticia Addams. They're in a few of the episodes, but every time they're on screen, you feel like they are part of the family, and Wednesday is their daughter. Especially Gomez, all the nicknames he has for her is just funny, and it's just, you feel like they're a family, especially later on in the season where they get involved with a murder plot and everything. You feel like they're a proper family. It's fun to see. Gwendolyn Christie is awesome as the school's headmaster. Throughout the season, she and Wednesday are basically going head to head and trying to find out who's the killer, trying to keep the school under control, trying to keep everyone safe, and they end up working together in the end. And it's nice to see them grow their relationship, and even though it was combative at the start, they actually got along at the end. Emma Myers does well as Wednesday's colourful werewolf roommate. So at the start of the season, we meet her. She's a very bombastic, colourful character that loves to go out and hang out with friends, and she's the complete opposite of Wednesday, who would rather just sit by herself and write her novel. And throughout the season, just as with Gwendolyn Christie, they become good friends, and they fight to find the truth. And it's good to see Wednesday open up and become friends with her. Thing is arguably one of the highlights, the hand creature that is part of the Addams family. He's basically Wednesday's companion through the whole season, and he I guess you could call Thing a he, but I don't really know. But Thing is just the best. He's always doing the funniest things, always getting involved somehow, stealing stuff, getting people involved, always being a helping hand, literally. And I thought Thing was one of the best things to come out of this season. I love the intertwining stories with the main plot, and they all come together in the end. So we get multiple stories with people in the town, people in the school, and it all twists and turns that ends up at the ending point with Wednesday going against the founder of the town and one of the teachers that she was the original Wednesday character in the old movies, which I thought was quite cool. And you find out that she's actually a human that hates all the outcasts, and it was cool to see all these intertwining stories end up at the end of the series. They did well using the misdirects to hide the real villain, so they basically made two of the main male characters seemed like they were the bad guys, one of the baristas and one of the male students, and they basically tried to make one of the other students look like the bad person, but it was actually the other. And I thought they did a really good well of trying to misdirect the audience, because I even fell for it, so I think they did a good job with that. I love the setting and variety of creature characters. So we got vampires, we got, I guess you could call them mermaids, you got werewolves, you got the main creature, which was the hide. I think it was really cool because they didn't properly show them all the time. They showed them in glimpses. Hyde was the most one they showed the most often, but I feel like they created this real community of creatures in the school, and it was nice to see all of it come together. I enjoyed the overall mystery and drip feeding of information and revelations. So I think it was 10 episodes this season, and then it was basically drip feeding oh, this happened here, this plot happened here. Something happened at this house. Something happened at this house. There was an attack at this place, and it's only drip feeds, and we get a clearer picture of what's really going on and who the characters are going after, who's the bad people in the situation, who's actually good. And it was good to see the plot slowly reveal the whole truth, and then the last episode we get the full picture and we fully understand what's going on, just as Wednesday does. Watching Wednesday grow as a character and start to trust people was fun and heartwarming. So at the start of the season, she doesn't really like anyone at all. She hardly talks to anyone, and she'd rather just sit in her room just writing her books. But throughout the season, she gets close to other characters like her roommates, other classmates, teachers, and she becomes friends with many of them, especially the beekeeping club, which has 2 members, Wednesday and another member, and they all become good friends. And it's nice to see Wednesday open up to people and her become a bit closer to others. The main villain and creature, the Hide, was creepy and terrifying. It was a good use of CGI, so they didn't show it directly too much. They only did it on a few occasions, like the front of the face of the Hide, which was a really creepy bulbous eye and stuff. But it would only be flashes of it striking and slashing people. We didn't overly focus on the actual Hide as a creature. It would always run off, and you'd never fully see it. So it made the CGI, even if it had drawbacks, it didn't show it too much. So I think they did a really good job of that. The music was amazing, especially some of the instrumental covers of the songs, like Paint It Black and Nothing Else Matters. As soon as you hear the instrumental, you're like, oh, that sounds familiar, and then it gets into the main part, you're like, oh, I can recognise that song, because Metallica and the Rolling Stones are some of the most iconic bands, and these songs are just perfect for this series, especially the instrumental versions. It goes so well. And when it got gory, the show didn't shy away from the blood and violent scenes. Like when the Hide was attacking people and slashing them up with its claws, it didn't shy away from it. It was blood and going everywhere. Some characters die and they don't hide it. They show it fully on the screen. And I was surprised at that, especially because a lot of the series is basically all high school drama going on. But they don't hide the gore, which I thought was quite cool. So that's a tick in my positives for the series. But yeah, there was a couple of negatives, unfortunately. Even though it's set in school, some of the school drama was kind of bland and formulaic, such as the love triangle and the bully popular girl. So the 2 male leads that were basically close to Wednesday, it's kind of the generic plot that, oh, they both like her. And it would have been cool to see a different story where maybe one of them does like her, but the other one's just supporting her to try and find the killer. But it was kind of just bland that, oh yeah, they just both like her. And then the bully popular girl, she's the top girl in the school, and she hates Wednesday automatically because she's slightly popular. I thought it was kind of just same old kind of story. And then my final point, that Wednesday's visions were cool, but were used as a plot progression, deus ex machina, with nothing really earned sometimes. So basically, out of nowhere, she would have a vision, and that's what would propel the plot forward, not some organic storytelling revelation. It's just that she gets a random vision, and then that's what pushes the plot along. It would have been cool if she discovered something, or something was revealed to her through conversation. No, it just pops into her head through this flashback, and it's like, oh, okay. It's just out of nowhere. But overall, the plot was put well together enough that it made sense overall. But yeah, I had a fun time with this series. It's so fun with the mystery and the thriller of the murders and the school as a whole. It was so fun, and I'm looking forward to hopefully a season 2 in the future. But overall, I love this season, and if you like mysteries or dark fantasy stuff, you'll definitely enjoy this as well. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future episodes, And until next time, I will see you all later.